Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the newest album from Sufjan Stevens, The Ascension. So this is the 8th full-length studio album from the multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter, Mr. Sufjan Stevens, and this is his second album that he's dropped in 2020, following up Aporia from earlier this year with his stepfather, Lowell Brahms. So here we are at a new full-length solo album from Sufjan, following up his pretty fantastic Carrie and Lowell from 2015, and it's a pretty big album overall. We have 15 new tracks that over an hour in runtime, and it's an electronic album again from Sufjan, which is a genre that he's explored in the past on multiple different releases, but most interestingly on The Age of Ads. And over time that album's kind of revealed itself to be a little bit ahead of the curve for when it dropped. But The Ascension isn't necessarily this complex and dense experimental opus over here of a successor. Instead, the material on this album over here just feels a lot less exciting and ambitious and a little bit more numbed out and blah, honestly. Now, I'm not saying anything like, Sufjan has to always be on the fringe of electronic music to release something that's interesting. But I mean, if I didn't know that Sufjan was writing some of these tracks on here, I probably wouldn't have even finished this album. A lot of the textures on here do recall back to what landed on Aporia at spots, but they've been tweaked, a little bit more flavor added and enhancements, but still very pastel-like. And it all kicks off with a pretty promising start with the track Make Me an Offer I Can't Refuse. There's a pretty engaging beat on this track with a lot of twinkly sounds laced in. It's a pretty dreamy piece of art pop overall that does pick up in a pretty engaging way towards the end, where everything kind of starts spiraling and getting louder, almost like you're in a spaceship taking off into space, but your descent into the beyond has something wrong that could be going on in the background. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Another track I enjoyed was the single Video Game. It's a sort of low-key, mild pop track that's kind of tossed into the track list, but I did think it had a really catchy chorus. But then from there, I mean, things start to drop off a bit in quality with a lot of tracks that just end up feeling like filler. Take Lamentations, for example. The beat on this track is pretty interesting. It does remind me of something that like Hot Chip would have done on one of their earlier records with those weird vocal samples that are just densely layered in. But the song itself just feels so half-baked, with also a pretty lackluster vocal performance from Sufjan, which is surprising. And it's just one of a couple examples on this album here of a song having just like kind of like a mild beat, and the track just kind of hangs in it until the end, where there's like a little bit more of a rush of an instrumentation, but the build-up never really feels thrilling. I thought Ursa Major, a little further down in the track list, was a better take on these ideas and another standout on the record overall. But then you get to like Die Happy, and I mean, that was just like tedious to sit through. Super indulgent track from Sufjan over here, just having him repeat, "I wanna die happy," for like 5 minutes. And it's just one of those tracks that like you only really have to hear once, because once you kind of go through the whole progression of it and how basic it is, it's just no need to return to it really. I also feel similar about the track Death Star. It has a lot of that same stuff going on. And that track is just sandwiched in between two fillers on the record with Gilgamesh and Goodbye to All That. And then the album concludes with the 12-minute long lead single America, which, overall I thought was just okay. I mean, the instrumentation that gets added in towards the end, the way it carries it out, is just not really that great overall. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. This was just merely like an okay album, but mainly disappointing release from Sufjan, I thought. Just one too many mild, mid-paced jams after another that build very anticlimactically and hit you more with like sensory overload at times rather than like emotional impact, which is kind of strange overall, because like Sufjan's built a reputation up over the past few years in album after album of releasing content that's lyrically potent, emotionally impactful. And I don't know, I mean, I just didn't really get that out of this album, and I guess I just leave it at that. And with that being said, I'm feeling a 6 over here on The Ascension. So for all of you collectors out there that are interested in grabbing this album, there is a limited clear variant on double vinyl that's out, and it was a part of like Record Store Day, it looks like, and it's sold out on Asthmatic Kitty, but you might still be able to find one bumming around at your local record shop, so take a look out for that. And also on their website, the Black Standard issue sold out as well, so I don't know. I'm going to have links down below to Asthmatic Kitty, though, because there is still a gold shell cassette available. And if you've listened to The Ascension, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share, and if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.